What's up, internet, Instagram, YouTube? It's your boy, James, aka J Kraken. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. David Aure. First and foremost, this is a special episode for a couple of reasons. One, this is gonna be the last episode of 2024. And two, we have been on a bit of a hiatus. Sometimes life just happens and we're not quite able to be as consistent as we'd like to be. And I feel like you and I had a lot of momentum going into this podcast, and then All Films is still putting out music video content, but then it's like, where's the podcast? What happened? So before we really dive into it, I do want to just say, for those of you who did watch episodes 1 through 3 and 4, it means...
1 through 3 only.
Yeah, 1 through 3 only. It means a lot that you guys were willing to spend a part of your day with us and just listen and resonate with the podcast and some of the things we had to say. So
this is important for us. Like, you know, me and James, we want this to be a big part of 2025. I feel like us having this conversation, explaining what happened with the pause, and then also, you know, what's to come, is why we're here. So
I agree, 100%. This is all very off the cuff. We're rolling the camera. We just got done with the photo shoot with the very talented Jan Narciso. We were doing promo stills for In the Trenches. So we're
how clever of us to do photos and then not do a podcast. But so there's a reason.
We're double dipping right now.
Yeah.
But
I think doing the photos is part of us committing to the idea that we are going to do it.
I agree. And that this is a very serious nod into that direction.
Yes.
So, sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I don't know if you guys can see this shit because you can't, but my phone is speeding both camera and audio on both our mics because this is very impromptu. But it's cool because we're in the trenches. We're kind of just figuring this out, the best solution for this. But David and I want to start this by updating you where we've been, why we took a little hiatus on the podcast on In the Trenches. And the simple answer is because sometimes life happens and you have things that happen that aren't the happiest things, you know? And so for me, it was the passing of my cat. My cat of 7 years passed away on October 28th, 2024 to a tumorous cancer. And I'm not gonna go much further than that, but what I wanna just touch on the fact that this was a life-altering moment for me because she was a constant in my life since I moved here. No matter how much I fucked up, I would be welcomed home by this little animal, and that was the case for 7 years. And to learn that she had a cancerous tumor in her leg was heartbreaking. For those of you watching, you probably have no idea that I even had a cat, but she grew up as a bit of a YouTube cat, which is kind of special. And so I think the significance for me is Jana had been there through all the seasons of my life since I moved down to SoCal. And so to lose her is a turning point in my life where taking a couple steps back from the podcast to kind of process and deal with life. And so with that said, I know you have a big editing job ahead of you to cut through all that and make it sound good, but...
Well, first and foremost, you know, all love, rest in peace, Jana. I remember that night I asked Michelle, I was like, you know, I've never owned a pet, so I don't know how to react. And then, you know, my wife, Michelle, was like, you should just ask if, you know, you want company.
That meant a lot. Shout out to Michelle and shout out to David. We went out to get really high quality scotch in Jana's name, but for me it was more so knowing that I had friends and family there. I wasn't alone processing this. And by the way, I realize that this is getting pretty heavy for this podcast, but the theme for this podcast is sometimes, life happens and it takes you out of your day-to-day. But that's okay. And it's okay to give yourself time to process, because, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be able to sit here in front of you guys with David and talk about this kind of stuff. And so being able to have a good support system is very crucial to any sort of grieving process. And so it meant a lot that both of you were behind, helping me get through this. So thank you.
And so obviously James set it up where something for my family happened, and what a lot of people don't know is that on top of off films, and I still was doing a 9-to-5. Shout out to QSC, still have a lot of love for them. But for the past 5 years, I've been doing a 9-to-5, and then also, so 2 full-time jobs with running off films. And so I was let go in November with QSC. And since then, I've been swinging to the fences and just trying to figure things out. So yeah, we've both been dealing with life, still trying to create, still dealing with, even the holidays and family and friends. But me and James wanted to meet today, still do the photo shoot, which was intended to promote our podcast for going forward, but also to shoot tonight, to just to promise, I guess, ourselves and to you guys, this is something that means a lot to us, which is building a community, sharing our stories, sharing what we know, learning from what we're doing, and having the conversation with everybody on the community that we could build, right? And us sharing, our losses. It's not going to be the last time, because we want to go through this going forward. So I think us being honest early on, me and James have always said, how things start is how things end, and we want you guys to know, we're just 2 real human beings going through life, and then
we're in the trenches.
Yeah.
Not everything we put out is gonna be the happiest thing, and there is the uplift that I want you to know that there is. But as creatives, I feel like we're like go. We have to keep the lights on, whatever the case is. We're constantly grinding. But I think it's also important to be patient with yourself, and to have enough grace for yourself to understand that sometimes you do have to take a step back, to come back here, sitting over here on this podcast setup, to be the versions of we are today, to be able to talk to you guys. So there's a lot that happened. Damn, a lot happened the last couple podcasts. Zoom into this, dude. I have I'm speeding through my app, and I have the fucking DJI thing, and this audio is shit, but we're still doing it. So
So what's the come, right? What's the come? By the time you see this, you have hopefully have seen a music video that me and James did with the Varsity called the Omelette. What's really cool about that music video was that I heard the song, they dropped the EP, and I was really inspired by the song Omelette, because for some reason it was a song that Eric Young sends me every song, but he didn't send me that song. And when I heard it, I was like,
why didn't you send me that shit?
Yeah, we need to do this.
No, it's such a good song.
So
from Varsity,
from when I heard it online, I hit up James. I'm like, bro, we got to shoot something. And this is in the midst of us, going through what we're going through. And it was just me and James, Varsity, pulling up to Blake's house.
Innovator, yeah.
3 hours of shoot, me and James had a conversation the night before of what we creatively wanted to do, and we pretty much, I think we got every shot except one.
The way that you prefaced it was like, dude, I have a very peripheral shot list. I have story beats that I want to tell within this, but other than that, we're kind of running gunning it. And I'm like, for me, it was more so a callback to how we were in April and May, and I'm like, dude, let's run it. Sometimes you shoot for the sake of shooting, create something fun.
So as a group, collectively, I'm really proud about that music video. I think the drop was like really fun that we dropped all the verses at one time. Special record. Also, what you guys will be seeing by the time this podcast drop is a music video by a visualizer that we did for Apollo Bebop called Wit'cha. Great record to end the new year. The sentiment of the record. Obviously, Brian with the lyrics with towards his woman, but having everybody collectively show up for that shoot, and we just had one location that Brian saw with when we had my birthday celebration, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And
I got a lot of B-roll of that on my glasses.
Yeah. And again, we only had 3 hours to shoot that too, but I had 3 ideas creatively, same thing that we had with Omelette, and we really effectively got it done. Watch it, show love, comment.
Yeah.
Let us know how you guys feel about it. Also show love to the artists. But next year for us is really investing in more of this, which is showcasing who we are, reinvesting in ourselves, right? And you'll see a whole new rebrand of everything.
I think that what we've created this year is merely the framework of what we want to achieve in 2025. Like David said, we're really...
That's put very, very well.
I rehearsed this shit before we... As David said, we're going to be swinging for the fences in 2025. And in the same way that you guys have been here with us in 2024, which has been one of the most incredible years of our lives as a creative group, as a creative collective.
Do you mind if I give the final words?
Wrap it up, baby. Wrap it up.
To do full circle, right? The loss that James went through and me losing my job, right? We have committed to making 2025 about reinvesting in ourselves, our friendship. We are very excited for what's to come, and we can't wait to share more of this, what he always says, the slices of life of all films.
Oh yeah. And at the end of the day, words can only go so far, and it's our actions that'll ultimately prove that. But I feel like this year, we really put our money where our mouth is and really just run and gunned everything and just create for the sake of creating. And I'm really proud of that. Again, it means a lot that you're willing to spend part of your day kicking it with us on this podcast. So yeah, stay tuned for all films in 2025.
Love you guys.
Love you. We out.